Hey, what's going on, guys? Louis here of the Frozen Pirate Podcast. I hope you guys are all doing well. I appreciate you guys tuning in for this interview that I did at the Tampa Sports Collectors Expo. So this interview was the first interview I did to kick off that weekend. And if you're not familiar with the Tampa Sports Collectors Expo, I'm going to leave some information in the description of this video. That way you guys don't ever miss another one. They do 3 shows a year, and I've been a part of 2 of them. So big shout out to Guy and DJ Ups for letting me be a part of this because for those of you guys who are new to the channel, I grew up a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan in Massachusetts. This is like a dream come true for me, and you guys get to join me on this journey interviewing these players. Uh, the Tampa Sports Collectors Expo has hockey legends, baseball legends, basketball legends, football legends, especially if you're a huge Bucks fan and a fan of the Rays and, of the Lightning. It's a really cool experience, and I'll get into a little bit more later on after this interview is up. That way, I can give you guys some more information. But that weekend was truly an honor because I grew up a diehard Buccaneers fan, and around like 2011, 2012 is when I really started getting into hockey some more, and I really got into the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I'll tell you what, out of all the interviews I did at both of these expos, this one right here is by far my favorite, just because of the aura of this man and just the energy that he brings. Truly a humbling experience. And he doesn't need no introduction. He's a Tampa legend. He's played 23 seasons in the NHL. That's no easy task. Anybody who can do that's a long time, man. And to me, he's probably one of the most respected men to ever lace up a pair of skates. He's a Hall of Famer. Uh, and not only that, I think one of the biggest things is that he was the captain that helped anchored bringing the Stanley Cup, the first Stanley Cup in 2004 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that's huge. So without further ado, guys, this is my quick shift with Dave Andreychuk. Enjoy, guys.
What's going on, man? How we doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. Busy time of year for us.
Yep.
When you think about after the Olympic break and all the games we are playing now. So
What a great finish for Team USA.
yeah,
Huh?
awesome.
That was
so cool. So cool for hockey.
Oh, absolutely.
Like not just the U.S. I mean, hockey in general. Like close with other teams, even teams that Denmark and they all were competitive too, right? So it was really cool to watch.
Yeah, I've always said hockey is one of the sport that's still pure because I feel like everything is very commercialized. Like football, don't get me, I love the NFL, but it almost feels like I'm watching episodes of like something scripted almost. Hockey, it's still pure. Like, and it's very. I have a lot of respect for the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do a little bit of jiu-jitsu and boxing. The form is a little off, but I mean, it's not easy to throw hands on skates. I got to ask you, toughest defenseman you ever went up against that you were just like, I'm not really.
Well,
not
there
feeling
was a lot of tough guys for sure, but I think the more times you play against the team, the more you get to hate a guy, right?
Right.
And the Buffalo, Montreal, Chris Chelios, to me, that was one guy, and I've met him after. Nice man. He's obviously a Hall of Fame player. But we had some good run-ins, him and I, back in the in the '80s, and obviously a very good player.
Yeah. You played 23 seasons. Most guys retire like 10, 12 seasons.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Especially
Very
with
fortunate.
hockey.
Yeah, very fortunate. Injury-free for the majority of my career. And I think at the end, I look at it, I changed the way I played too, right? The Toronto days, you're a 50-goal scorer. And by the end, when I was in Tampa, I'm a checker now.
Yep.
So I kind of changed the way it was. And I think that made my career longer. And I think also you got to be in the right situation.
Right.
For me, coming to Tampa, the GM knew me, the coach knew me. I was in Boston. I had the coach before. So at the end of your career, you kind of go where people know who you are and they know what you're about. I think that's what happened with me. I got fortunate near the end and stayed healthy, and
That's a long career, man. Like I said, that's
it is.
especially in hockey.
I look when I tell people that, it's kind of hard to believe, and
Right.
I am proud of that, right? Like, you know, yes, the Stanley Cup and the Hall of Fame, but the games played to me means a lot, and I know players think of that also. That's hard to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Over 1,600 games, it's not easy.
That's a lot of games, man. It's a lot of games, a lot of ice skater. I gotta ask you, what was that? What went through your mind? Like, what did that feel like to bring a Stanley Cup championship in 2004 to the city of Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
That first one. What did that mean?
Well, you know, if we go back 2 years or even 3 years from that, you know, I went back to Buffalo for a second time. Tampa called, and I started to look up and down the lineup, and I'm like, man, you know, we're not that good.
Right.
And then getting down to Tampa, realizing the young guys that were there, LeCavier, Richards, St. Louis, Habibul, and like a good core bunch of guys that are under 25.
Right, yeah.
You know, they're all just kind of starting their career. And for me personally, I took it on as a challenge, just not necessarily to win the Stanley Cup, but turn the franchise around, like make us, you know, credible, right? Like they had a lot of losing seasons. And I will say that it didn't take me long to realize that how good these guys were, and I wanted to be part of it. And then I think things just started to happen for us. I think losing the prior year was a big step for a lot of our younger guys, guys that had never been in the playoffs before. And we beat Washington in 6 games. Then we ended up losing to the Devils, who went on to win the Stanley Cup. And I remember talking to the guys that, you know, we just weren't ready yet.
Right.
And then things happened the next year. We pretty much led from start to finish. We were a confident team. Our guys had playoff experience under the belt. Stars have to align.
Right.
There's so many good teams.
Right.
And as you know, if you watch hockey in the playoffs, it's a bounce here, a bounce there. And I am fortunate that the Stars were aligned in '04. And I think this community got to experience something that a lot of communities are hoping they could get. A long playoff run, lots of ups and downs, lots of, you know, win, lose, win, you know, and you're still in it. And that kind of set us off.
Right.
It was fun to be part of.
I mean, changed a lot of things, man, because a lot of people would say Tampa's not a hockey town, and I always tell people, because obviously the Boston Bruins, like, I get heckled a lot because I'm a Lightning fan, and they're like, that's not a hockey town. I'm like, man, go down there. They're very passionate about it.
If people come and experience it, then they'll realize it. And now what's happened in Florida in the last couple of years, it's really turned into it. And hey, I witnessed it. I was here at the beginning, where there were lots of red in the stands, lots of Bruins jerseys.
I was at the game yesterday. I will say this. The thing about Florida is it is tough. Like the Buccaneers are having an issue with this. Opposing team fans. You know, everybody that lives in Florida is not necessarily from Florida. And you get to the stadium, like the Bucs have a big problem with, you know, especially with the Eagles. Like certain fan bases travel. And yesterday it was at the Lightning game against the Red Wings. That was the first time I seen them win. Like out of, I don't even know how many times I come down
that's
here.
a good thing.
So I was like, Vasilevsky had a fantastic game. The Lightning played, they played very well.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I mean, I seen a lot of Red Wing fans, and I was looking around, and I bought my tickets last minute. I was in the 300s, and I was just looking around, and I'm like, 'cause I keep hearing, "Let's go Red Wings," and I'm like,
well, I'll tell you what happens in our market. I think as we get closer to the playoffs and knowing that we're going to be in the playoffs, I think a lot of our local fans are selling their tickets to get money for the playoffs. So we are fortunate that we're in the playoffs every year. You know, like there are a lot of teams that their fans are hoping they get in the playoffs. Our team is a little bit different, and this happens near the end of the year a lot. But I think our fan base has been great. And listen, let's face it, it's 10 years of quite good for the Lightning, right? Lots of championships.
To wear that Lightning jersey in Boston, I'll tell you that.
That's
very proud.
And you know, everybody kind of knows who they are now, so the fan base has grown. It's been fun to be a part of.
When you take a look at the team now, what are the things that you love and don't like about the now? Because like you said, we've been very fortunate. It's been championship hockey up and down the
Yes,
board with these guys.
I give credit to the coaching staff. Julie's one, the GA. They just keep finding these guys
Yes.
to come in. We live in a different world now where there's turnover on every team. There's not the team that you saw the prior year. It's totally changed.
Different,
Yes,
right.
there's guys, but they've always found these guys to come in.
Yeah.
John Cooper's done a good job. It's taken maybe a little time during the year to get them all on the same page. I think that's what we have going for us is, adding Corey Perry now, who's been here before. But the bottom line is they got goaltending.
John Cooper is one of the most, say, out of all the
Yeah.
sports. I don't know why nobody really talks about him more, but he is
I agree.
excellent,
Agreed.
excellent coach.
Not easy to coach stars,
No.
right? Like, yes, some people kind of downplay the fact that there's so many good players, and they should be good. But I think it's total opposite. I think trying to coach a very talented team is a tough thing. I'm pushing for the Jack Adams this year for John Cooper's. Never had it before. I think more than any other year with all the injuries and still top team. I look for him to do it. But I am looking forward to the playoffs. I think our guys have playoff experience. We're going to get some teams in there this year that maybe have not been in the playoffs in a
Right.
while. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm very proud to wear my Lightning jersey. But
Good
I get
for you.
I get a lot of hatred my
I
way.
bet you do.
I do.
I bet you do.
But I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like I said, yesterday was the first time I got to see them win at Benchmark International Arena now, and I felt good about that because
Yeah.
I had a horrible flight down. everything was going wrong, but that win
for you.
sealed it, and I was like, oh, there's no place like Tampa.
Good for you.
I appreciate you joining me. I know
Yeah,
you got to
thank you.
run. One question. Well, one favor. So I started this little podcast, the Frozen Pirate podcast, on that iPad right there.
Yep.
Not the best start. I was wondering because what I'm doing now is everybody that I interview, they could just sign it.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Love
you.
to
Man.
do
I
it.
appreciate that so
Love
much.
to do that.
Yeah, I started this little podcast on that, and it was probably not the best thing, but it did what it needed to do, and
Good for you, my
I'm
man.
here now. But I definitely appreciate you taking the
Awesome.
time out.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck to you.
No, thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Absolutely, thank you, Dave Andreychuk, everybody.
That was the interview I did with Dave Andreychuk. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, out of everybody that I've interviewed, Dave was it's just the son about him. He's a great guy, very humble, and I appreciate the time that he gave me. Hopefully, I can get him back on. I'm gonna try and reach out to him and see if I can get him back on. I'd like to get him on while the Lightning get into the playoffs. Real quick, guys. Do me a favor. No, you don't have to sign an iPad. The funny thing about that iPad is I actually, like I was just explaining to Dave, was I started this podcast about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I think. I don't know. Getting older now, so memory's getting foggy. I'm only 38. I'm not getting old. Still young. Still a kid, man. But I started this podcast on this tablet. And just it was brutal, man. Just what I know now, I wish I knew back then, but just it was a lot of long nights editing on a tablet, things that I didn't need to be doing. But this is how we learn. And everybody I interviewed at the Tampa Sports Collectors Expo, I actually had them sign it because I was gonna throw away the tablet. It's every time you use it, it gets really hot. It's on its way out. It's worth nothing now, but with everybody that I interviewed, it's worth everything to me now. It's something I get to hang up behind here because it just reminds me of where I started and, and where we're at now. So I really I can appreciate it now. And it's really cool. Everybody interviewed got to sign it. And like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as far as the Tampa Sports Collectors Expo, I want to see you guys come on down there and stop by the booth and say hello because I'll be down there in June. There's a good lineup, and I'm not going to give anything away, but I'll tell you what, you guys better make your way down there. It's at the Florida State Fairgrounds, man. And like I said, they do these shows in March, June, and December. So there's no excuse why you shouldn't be there. Like I said, there's legends, current players. We did an interview with Nick Jackson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a really fun one. Daniel and myself also did interviews with Shelton Quarles. Ken Dilger jumped in while we were live streaming. That was really cool. And there's just so much more. Sean King, like I said, I'm gonna put all these interviews up for you guys so you guys can go check them out. But do me a favor, guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share it. And tag us in it, man, because like I said, it goes a long way. And I know you have a lot of different options out there for Buccaneers content and podcasts, and support everybody, man, because like I said, this is all a Buccaneers Tampa community. You know what I'm saying? Lightning community, and I'm gonna start covering the Lightning a lot more because I don't know, just. Um, it just like I said at the beginning of the interview, hockey is still one of the most pure sports. Doesn't feel scripted, man. And these men, they they skate and they throw punches. Like it's just it's a man sport. And like I said, I can appreciate it. Like I told Dave, I'm like the form's a little off, but it's all right. I mean, I got a lot of respect for those guys. Not taking anything away from the football players, but I mean, hockey, I mean, I think we can all agree hockey is one of those sports, man. It's not for the weak, you know. But with all that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning into this interview. I appreciate uh, you guys taking the time out of your day to listen to this, you know, this quick shift that I had with Dave Andreychuk. Like I said, the man's a Tampa legend, Hall of Famer. And on that famous day, June 7th, man, brought that first Stanley Cup to the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2004. And like I said, that was cool. That was really cool to watch. You know, I was very young. I think I was 15. Yeah, I was like 15 when that happened, 15 and a half maybe. Yeah, I was probably 15 or 16. And watching that Stanley Cup, that was really cool. And it was cool for the city of Tampa, you know. And I defend you guys a lot, man. And I catch shit for wearing a Lightning jersey out here, but don't bother me none because, like I said, I defend you guys a lot. A lot of people say that Tampa is not a hockey town, not a hockey town. You know, what I tell them, I said, "Well, fuck off, man," because go down there during a playoff game, go down there during even the regular season, man. Those are some diehard fans, and there's something about Benchmark, formerly known as Amalie Arena. Um, there's just something about that place. It's special. It's real special. But with all that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys, man. Because like I said, uh, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast. And like I said, we have a lot of good content coming. We have a lot of good stuff on the way. And like I said, be on the lookout for the Tampa Sports Collectors Expo. And like I said, I'm going to put the information in the description so that way you guys know when it is, the dates, times, and who's going to be there. And like I said, and then you can come by the booth and you can say hello. You never know who I'll be interviewing. Yeah, so I can't wait. With all that being said, guys, treat each other fairly, treat each other with respect, be kind to one another, help each other, because that's how a community thrives. And put God first, as always. Frozen Pirate Podcast out. Peace.